Welcome to the 5th annual Southwest Ohio GiveCamp. Just out of curiosity, how many people was this their first GiveCamp?
Wow!
How about second?
Woo!
Third?
Ooh.
Fourth? How many people have been here for all 5?
They're all burned out.
I have no idea.
It's going to be a real small alumni picture here.
It will.
Sam can raise his hand.
You hear all 5, Sam?
Oh, no, you missed one here.
No, that's kind of silly.
Oh, that's right.
Hangover doesn't count. All right, so introducing the organizing team. Over here we have Matt Brewer. I'm Eric Squirts. This is Ryan Cromwell. Checking everybody at the front table was Mike Barron. And Peggy Prapata is running around here somewhere. She's helping organize all the food and everything. So she's making coffee and everything else. So she's around here somewhere. The most common question we get when we do this is, how can you guys do this? How can you afford to do this? This is how. We have sponsorships, and the sponsors do it. So if you see anyone from these organizations, make sure you thank them. We had different sponsor levels this year. Engage and Sparkbox was gold, meaning $1,000 or more. Booz Allen Hamilton, LexisNexis, and GitHub were silver, meaning $500 to $1,000. We also do room sponsors this year for $250 each. So if you look in your room that you're working in, each one is sponsored by a different team. They had options to decorate or do whatever they wanted in those rooms. Cardinal, Centric, Gaslight, and Nishtech are the room sponsors this year. And then we also had one bronze sponsor, JetBrains, which was $100. And then we had multiple in-kind donations. Boston Stoker donated all the coffee. Steve Barbecue's giving us a break on dinner tonight. Jets Pizza gave us a break on dinner. O'Reilly donated ebooks for everybody. So if you didn't get one when you checked in, there's certificates for a free ebook. See one of us or go back to the registration table and get it. And Everleap, which used to be called DiscountASP.net, is providing free hosting for a whole bunch of the nonprofits for life. So we've done that every year. We also want to thank Miami University for giving us this big facility for a very low rate compared to what we get for it. So Rod and Brad, neither one are here now. Rod, we might see you around tomorrow. But if you see anyone from Miami, thank them for all their support in helping us do this. We do all of our finances. How we're a nonprofit is through the Leadership Council of Human Services in Cincinnati. They handle all our finances, so they're the ones that help us get the nonprofit status. Contact information. Twitter handles up there, tag for the weekend, Instagram tag. The other notes on this page are the doors will be locked tonight and tomorrow at 8 o'clock p.m. Make sure you have your badge with you. There's a security guard there. There's a cell phone number on the doors that rings straight to the security guard. If one of us doesn't see you to let you in, call the number, and the security guard will come open the door and let you in. Schedule of events. We already did registration. We're here at opening ceremonies. We're doing things a little different this year. Before, we've always tried to assign most of the team ahead of time and then fill in the gaps. We're going to try self-organizing teams this year for something different. People pick what they want to do, technologies, etc. So we're going to try that immediately after opening ceremonies. And then after that, we'll have dinner. We'll pick teams, you'll get your dinner, and you'll go out to your rooms and you can eat your dinner with your team and start getting to know them that way. We're open all night tonight. Breakfast will be 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We have hot breakfast cooked by Engage Partners tomorrow morning. Group pictures at noon tomorrow, lunches at noon, and then we have activities for kids tomorrow. There's a code camp, and then kids can come out and decorate Halloween and cookies and stuff like that too tomorrow to see what you're doing for the weekend. Dinner at 6:15, we'll have some snacks tomorrow night, and the building closes at midnight Saturday night. The first year or two, we stayed open all night. We found people didn't stay most of the time Saturday night, so it wasn't worth paying a security guard and everything else, so we closed at midnight Saturday night. We will open back up again at 7 a.m. Sunday morning. We just bagel breakfast, We say AM nonprofit training, because this is one of the most important things. We don't give specific times, it's up to you and your team how you do it, but it's very important to train your nonprofit on the projects you give them. Otherwise, you might be doing your effort for nothing. You'll just go and sit somewhere. So make sure you schedule that with your nonprofit. Nonprofits, make sure your team leads schedule it with you. Lunch at noon, and then closing ceremonies back in here at 3 o'clock, and we try to keep that to hour and 15 minutes or so we're done out of here by 4:30, quarter till 5, plus cleaning up and everything. So. Couple rules. Miami is a smoke-free campus, so that means you may only smoke within your private vehicle, and that includes e-cigarettes as well. So you can't smoke outside on the sidewalk, in the parking lot, anywhere else, just inside your vehicle.
Actually,
What's that?
you can't smoke in your vehicle this year.
Oh, they changed the rule then. We can't smoke in our vehicle either.
You can't
So,
smoke on the property anymore.
so I guess you have to drive across the street to smoke there.
They're getting more and more restricted.
All right.
Hey, the parking issue is
You can walk across to the park at least. I already mentioned about the building access being limited, and then we're all here to help clean up. As much as you can, clean up amongst yourselves. Like I said, Miami gives us the facility at a very low rate, so we try to make it as easy on them as possible. Map of location, where the room's at. 3 of the rooms, development rooms, are down on this side. There's one that's a very first room on this side. The teams are listed. There are signs out there indicating where you go. As opposed to others, people don't know where their rooms or teams are yet, so we'll make note of this and bring this back up after we do team selection. So now, the majority of this opening ceremonies is dedicated to learning about the nonprofits, learning about the projects, what they are, etc. So that's what we're going to go through now. We'll introduce each nonprofit. They're going to tell us about their mission sort of thing, and then we'll have a team lead come up and give a brief minute on what technologies and things they're planning on using, so that way it can help you decide which team you want to join. Make sure you pay attention to what's going on so you know which team you want to join. Make notes if you went through, whatever. But we'll start with the introductions. So. First up, we have Impact 100. And that is...
So you're going to come up there?
Oh, Steve needs to come up right away. Hey, come up.
No, wait, just say
This is
it.
Claire Blakemeyer.
Are you not here yet?
Apparently not.
I don't have a team leader yet.
Hi, my name is Claire Blankemeyer, and I am the not-for-profit coordinator for Impact 100. We are a women's collective giving network, meaning women join our organization and 100% of their membership dollars goes to create transformational grants in the community. Transformational translating into $100,000 or more. So we started in 2002. Our founder, Wendy Steele, wanted to get together some friends who felt disconnected from their philanthropic efforts and wanted women to join and really be involved in the fund and giving process. So we are up to about 450 members. We just invested 3 grants of $109,000 each in September. We've invested since 2002 just about $3 million in our regional tri-state community. So that's just a real quick, brief statement as to who we are. Hi, I'm meeting Raymond for the first time. We've talked, but we haven't met face to face. So our project is, we are an all-volunteer board. There's 20 women who all volunteer their time to make this process happen. Nonprofits submit grant requests. We go through those grant requests and we award the grants at the end of the year. So accepting those grant requests as recently as 3 years ago, we were doing it all via paper. And I could not believe the reams and reams and reams of paper we would have at committee meetings to review these grants, especially since one of our focus areas is environment. It didn't seem to ring true to our mission. So we moved to an online form field validation for the letter of intent and are kind of playing around with receiving grant applications via email. And we are just running into barrier after barrier after barrier. So we would love to see a log-inable system for our nonprofit partners to submit their grant requests, to save their progress, and that we could download those responses on the back end. Again, because we are all volunteers, I'm a consultant for high school teachers. So I really would love to not have to like trace emails down and to do the paper thing that we've been doing and to bring us into the 21st century. So that's who we are.
Hi, my name is Raymond Chandler, and I'm leading the project for Impact 100. Sorry I'm late, traffic was heavy. So real quick, show of hands, I just want to get kind of a gauge of the talent we have in the room. How many WordPress developers are in here? How many Pythonistas? Python programmers? PHP programmers? Rubyists? Okay, cool. Node.js? Awesome. All right, so we're going to be doing a Rubyist, raise your hand real quick. Keep your hand up if you particularly do Ruby on Rails or Sinatra. Okay, I figured. All right, we're going to do Ruby on Rails, and I would love to have you guys involved, like there, and there. And that's going to be our tech stack, and that's what we're going to work with. So thanks. That's good. That's good.
Next up, we have Mason's Food Pantry. Represented by Gina Brown and Alan Garrison.
Wow, I guess we're not going in alphabetical order. So first of all, I want to thank you guys for coming and devoting your entire weekend to help us nonprofits. That is so completely awesome. Thank you all very much. So our name kind of says the whole thing, Mason Food Pantry. We're a pantry for the residents of the Mason School District. And if you're familiar with this area, a lot of people are often surprised that Mason has a food pantry because we've held quite a few homoramas in our time. But not everybody in Mason lives in a $2.5 million house, I promise you that. And we are there to help members of our community who fall on hard times, whether it be illness or job loss. There's so many different things that can make somebody a pantry client. And it's been very humbling to get to hear some of the stories on people that you would just never suspect that do need help. So we're really grateful to be out there. We run 100% on donations and get no government assistance. So I'd like to be able to concentrate my efforts on finding out who is donating and when they're donating and why they're donating so that we can continue to be self-sustaining and not rely on other outside industries. So thank you.
My name is Alan Garrison. I'm the team lead for this project. Haven't really been fully decided on the tech stack right now, but basically the work involves taking a whole bunch of data from like CSV files and potentially other stuff I haven't even seen it all yet. We have a database and hopefully web hosting on the discount ESP or whatever the new name is. So we basically need some data import, some schema design, some basic CRUBE type either web pages or something, whether it's Drupal or something .NET or whatever. So we haven't decided that yet. But if you're into writing one-shot scripts that will never see light of day again after we're done, please start to.
They're needed, I swear.
Next up is Testicular Cancer Society. They're represented by Mike Craycraft and Sam Quarters, the tech lead.
So hello, again, thank you to all the volunteers as well. As charities, we could really use the help, and this is actually pretty incredible that this is being put on. So basically, our mission is really to reduce the burden of testicular cancer. We know through awareness we can get early detection. With early detection, it's almost 100% curable. Lack of awareness, late diagnosis leads to higher treatment burdens and unfortunate deaths. So we're actually, particularly in the state of Ohio, we're here in Cincinnati, but we're launching a new initiative called Talk About TC, where it's going to be a collective impact initiative where we're going to focus on awareness, access to care, and quality of care all at the same time. Because we see just working in one silo doesn't help. So one of the big things with awareness is that only about 25% of guys in Ohio surveyed knew how to do a self-exam. Only 9% of parents said they ever talked to their sons about testicular cancer. And when we ask the guys who are in the highest age group at risk, who's talked to you about testicular cancer? Your doctor, your parents, your teacher, or nurse at high school, your professor, or nurse at college, or your sports coach. 72% of the guys said no one. So we're trying to develop an app that will not only educate on how to do a self-exam, but also teach just a handful of facts about the disease, and then also to encourage to replicate that message.
So, as a part of our project this weekend, we'll be doing 2 apps, one for iOS and one for Android. Some of the features we're going to add were calendar integration, reminders, and simple animations. So, it'll be 2 apps, iOS and Android.
Next up is 4 Paws for Ability. 110. Sorry, Kelly Cram and Tim Lewis.
Hi, I'm Kelly Cam, and I'm with 4 Paws for Ability, and we are based in Xenia, Ohio, but we place service dogs all over the globe. We focus on primarily children with disabilities, and that covers any disability under the ADA. Our most common application is with autism assistance dogs, so search and rescue tracking ability, followed by seizure assistant and alert dogs, and then it runs the gamut from fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, diabetic alert, peanut allergy alert, mobility alert, hearing ear, etc. And we have placed 800 dogs over the last 16 years all over the globe. And we also have a very small veterans program too, that's actually fully funded by a couple of foundations in Cincinnati and Lexington. But one of the things that's really important to our families is they wait with their children who have disabilities, who are very anxious to get their dogs. You know, children are quite impatient anyway, but when you have a child with a disability, it's even more so. And so they wait a year to a year and a half while their dog is being trained. So this website that we're asking Tim and his team to develop is called 4pawsdogs.org. And it will basically be a really fun site, interactive for kids and their families to go out on. And they'll be able to click on a dog and follow that dog's process as it grows and develops through the training process. And so it's just really important for our families to have that kind of information so that they can stay engaged and involved while they're waiting for their dog to be trained. So we will have a service dog in training here on Sunday with one of our trainers, so you'll have to ask her to do a demo or something. She could do a killer seizure alert demo, so ask her to do that. Don't tell her I said that though. But thank you so much again for everybody being here. I know this is a lot to give up your whole weekend, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm Tim Lewis, I'm project lead for this project. So besides building a new website for 4 Paws, they also do want a tool to upload the photos of the dogs they're working with at the time, and to be able to put kind of text on where the dog is at in the stage. So we'll be using WordPress and then probably PHP to build the whole site. So anyone that is good at PHP, I'd love you to have that on the team. So.
Next up, we have Meredith's Miracles, represented by Laura Platt and Christopher Strolley Davis.
Hi, I am with Meredith's Miracles Colon Cancer Foundation. We have been around, for I guess a little over 5 years. My personal connection is Meredith was my sister who died of colon cancer at the age of 25. And kind of as a legacy to her, we provide financial assistance to colon cancer patients that are young, we classify that as under the age of 40, that are currently battling colon cancer, and we just help them with living expenses. So past due rent or mortgage payments, utilities, car payments, things like that. Our website really stinks, and it was created about 6 years ago by someone that our family knew. Kind of Band-Aid after Band-Aid has been put on, and we really just needed to look better, be a little bit more intuitive. We'd love to be able to accept grant applications online if possible, just make it look a little bit better.
Hello, I'm Chris Trolley Davis. I'm the lead for this one. Is this on? Yeah. I can't hear myself. Weird. Anyway, I guess that's good. So basically, I'm in a unique situation where I'm not just the team lead, but I actually happen to be the guy that works on the website in my off time. And part of the needs that we have is that the site is kind of difficult to maintain, even for me as a developer. And so we're going to try to move this into like a WordPress site. So we're going to need at least one developer who knows WordPress pretty well, and preferably at least one more that knows PHP pretty well. For the most part, our number one goal is to just do a facelift of the website and like Lauren mentioned, kind of get our donation process kind of evolved, but also get some like Twitter feeds in and things along those lines. Mostly simple stuff for WordPress. If we find the time after that, we've got a few other things that we'd like to add on as well. And I think there's a good chance that we get some of this other stuff done really quick. At which point we might, we have some things for like collecting grant applicants and things along those lines that we'd like to see about integrating if that's possible. Stuff along those lines. And we've got a few different ideas in the works on that, but they're not as important. Of course, I'm one of those few people that will be able to continue working on this after this weekend, so it kind of creates a unique situation there as well. But obviously, I'm going to need some help, so that's pretty much it.
Next up, we have Adopt a Book, represented by Angela Lehman. And team lead is David DeLove.
Hi there, I'm Angela Lehman, and I'm president of Adopt a Book. It was founded in December of 2011, actually by my 11-year-old twins, Anna and Alex. And they were inspired to start a book drive event for kids that didn't have access to books or didn't own books of their own. And to date, it's now over 55,000 books that have been collected and donated, stored, and are sorted in our garage and basement. And they are continuing to do that in Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky. So we are a nonprofit now, obviously, because it's such a high need in the city for book requests. So we are asking for a facelift, essentially, on our website, and an area where individuals that are interested in wanting to request books for their kids that are in need can have an easier way to do that, and for those that are interested in donating books as well. So.
Hi, I'm David DeLove. Basically, as Angela said, we're looking for a general facelift of the webpage. They already have a really good start with their current page. We're just going to kind of tune the focus of the content a little bit, and then we're going to add a form for them to collect some data about who's actually requesting some books. So essentially, we're going to do Umbraco. So anybody who's got Umbraco experience, that would be fantastic. I'm a .NET developer by trade, so this is my item of choice. We'll be using Web Matrix for Microsoft as well, and Everleaf to host the site. So any of those sound like they're up your alley? Come and see.
Next up is Cincinnati JACL, and that's represented by Charo Tanaka, close I hope, and Susan Mayer, tech lead.
Good evening. Now I feel I'm very old guy here. Come December, I'll be 80 years old. I'm a guy with a brick and mortar, shop like that, but therefore I have to use this. But on behalf of our members, we really appreciate the help from this GiveCamp. We are a civil rights organization formed after World War II by our pioneer members who moved from the relocation camps in the desolate camps of the West to Cincinnati. And today we continue to help and protect the weak and disadvantaged with the hope of civil rights. History of the USA is full of discrimination against, well, of course, against African Americans and also Asian Americans. When we immigrated, all we wanted to do was to work hard and to become a good citizen of this country. And yet, there have been, instances of the Chinese Exclusion Act and the Japanese Americans put into camps. Now, today, I'm very happy to tell that the situation has changed for much better. And yet, I want to tell you some examples like when a comedian on television makes fun of African Americans, people will scream, they will demonstrate, okay, and politicians will talk. But when some comedians make mockery of Asian Americans, like Jeremy Lin, the basketball player, we get, at best, we get public silence, and at worst, other people join in the laughter. And that's the thing we feel we have to fight. And that's why since 1945, we have been continuing this effort. Now, again, with all guys like me, our website has been in archaic shambles. So I really appreciate this opportunity that you people are helping us, and thank you very much.
Basically what they have is a static website that was built with just plain old HTML, and they've given me a list of Susan, can you make it do this? And after analyzing their list, we're going to go to WordPress 4.0. It's currently hosted on GoDaddy. We're going to stay there, flip it to WordPress, and then I've identified about half a dozen plugins that will take advantage of to provide some of the functionality. Things like, rather than mail in your membership form, you can sign up online or pay online. Who knew? So we're going to address some of those issues, and that's the technology we'll use. Thank you.
So next up is Extraordinary Give, represented by Scott Cook and Tim Becklum as team lead.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Scott Cook. I'm the president of Extraordinary Give. I've also got Matthew Kessler over here with me that represents us as well. We're actually a new nonprofit. We just started this fall. So unlike most of you that are pretty established, this is new for us. And I'm transitioning from the corporate world to the nonprofit space. Extraordinary Give is about raising and creating opportunity for nonprofits. I read an article about a year ago about Give Day events that Texas did, and where they raised millions of dollars for nonprofits and helping to bring awareness for those. And I thought this was a unique opportunity, certainly at a state level. I really thought about really bringing it down to a local level. I thought about Mason at first because that's Mason where I live, and then I thought, well, we really need to expand that. It needs to be Greater Cincinnati. So we're going to have our first event next year in Greater Cincinnati, and then we'll expand to Columbus and Lexington and Indianapolis and so forth. And the intent is to bring awareness to local nonprofits like yourselves and help raise funds, as well as connecting with volunteers. So we've partnered with Volunteer Match, with GuideStar as well, and what we've done is we're building our website now to enhance the opportunity for online donations, and we're going to have a platform for that. The goal for us today is really to have an app built. We want to tie in an app to that, to a 24-hour day of giving, and really promoting that and getting a lot of sponsorship behind it, getting the city behind it, local communities, so we get lots of media and advertising around it. We'll help nonprofits with that. We'll help in training for social media and other things along the way. So that's kind of what we're about, and what we hope to do coming out of this is to get the app to help support that for us.
So I see a lot of glowing apples, so I'm really hopeful that we have some iOS developers with us. Anybody have experience with it? Or OS and okay, great. That's awesome. We have pretty much all the framework together to build the app, so all the tricky stuff like signing and everything is done. There's some JSON APIs. I'm sure some of you are familiar with that. So if you're looking to contribute, a little bit about iOS, even from a user perspective, it would be very helpful.
Thank you.
Next up is Danbury Eagle Scout, and they're represented by Joe Combs and Jason Roby is the tech lead.
All right, thank you. I'm Joe Combs. I'm with the Danbury Eagle Scout Association. I should probably start by saying how humbled I am, how honored I am to have our association be included with so many great nonprofits. This is my first time at one of these, and this is a little overwhelming. The best way to describe what the Neighborhood Eagle Scout Association does, if you've ever heard the parable of the bridge builder, I'll do a horrible job of paraphrasing it, but a man's hiking in the woods and comes to a stream, treacherous stream, crosses it. Once he gets to the other side, he starts building a bridge across it. And a passerby asks him why he's doing that, because he won't pass that way again. And he tells the passerby that I'm doing that for those who are on this trail behind me, who come behind me. The Danbury Council serves about 30,000, a little more than 30,000 young men and actually young women. There is a co-ed program when you get to the older high school age group throughout Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky. And our mission is to build that bridge, to provide opportunities for men who become Eagle Scouts, for networking, and more importantly, for service, to give back to the scouting program that's served them so well. So we have a website that, like other folks have described, it's in pretty desperate need of a new public face. We're hoping along with that to get some improved capability to meet and connect with Eagle Scouts and keep the lines of communication open, and also to plug them into opportunities to serve, to give back to scouting, helping at campouts, helping at training functions, mentoring, you name it. So that's us in a nutshell.
All right, and to help them continue to build those bridges, we're going to be taking their, I think it's a MediaWiki site is what it is, with a nice PHP error at the top all the time. So we might keep that, I don't know. But we're going to take that and move it over to a WordPress site. A lot of what they want to accomplish, I think, can be accomplished with existing plugins. Though if we hit that original goal, we might have some stretch goals where we can do some custom development. But right away, I'm looking for people familiar with working with actually WordPress specifically, and then we do a lot of HTML type formatting, installing plugins, configuring, and so forth. So it should be pretty simple, but we're looking forward to it.
So next up, we have United Rehabilitation Services, and this is Vivian, and represent, we have two teammates because they couldn't decide who was going to do it.
Well, we're really excited to be here. 2 years ago, GiveCamp built our website for URS. We're a local Dayton nonprofit. We've actually been in the community since 1956, so this is our 58th year. We were originally founded as the Dayton chapter of United Cerebral Palsy back in the day, and we changed our name in '99 to reflect the wide range of disabilities that we do serve. We now have infants as young as 6 weeks with sensory issues, autism. We have seniors with Alzheimer's that come for day programs. So we provide day programs for about 3,000 people a year. And everything we do stays in the Dayton community in terms of our fundraising efforts. We do a very small rubber duck regatta compared to Cincinnati's, but we aspire to be like Cincinnati someday. And so as part of that, we have 1,500 volunteers a year that come into our center to work with the clients that are there for the day programs. And we push a lot of paper. We have a volunteer packet. Everything we do is paper-based. It's not on the website currently. So we'd like to be able to build a database where volunteers can go fill out their packet. They can sign up for volunteer opportunities. In addition to volunteering in our building, we do 3 or 4 big special events a year, including the regatta, where we have hundreds of volunteers that we need. So this would allow our volunteers to be able to fill out their packet once and then go on and sign up for opportunities when those are available, and we will save millions of trees.
I'm Tom Straub. So this is James Grizzle. So they obviously made 2 of us. I think there was a height requirement, but yeah, fresh out of high school, just graduated. So this is good.
45 times.
Yeah. Average out. So Vivian and URS, they have an existing site, and guess what? It's WordPress. So coming from the .NET side, I learned WordPress last weekend. So I am an expert, so you can't have me on my team. But seriously, this is a great. This is going to be a great addition to their site. Volunteers are going to now log into their site. This is going to be new because it was kind of just static before, and they're going to be able to register events. They're most importantly going to be able to track their hours. So that's kind of a big add-on. We have hand-selected a few people already that worked in our office. It would be great to have someone with some WordPress/PHP experience. We'd even be willing to split them with another team, at least just to kind of make sure we're on the right track. I think the PHP stuff doesn't scare me. Some of the WordPress configuration, just make sure we're doing things kind of in the best possible best practices. So, yeah, so come talk to us if you're interested. It should be a good conference.
If you've ever used BuddyPress before, we're going to use that for signups. If you've ever touched that, we'd love to hear from you to see if you have any like gotchas, pitfalls, something like that.
Next up is Parents to Partners, represented by Leila Kubesh and December.
Hi, my name is Leila Kubesh, founder of Parents to Partners. I was inspired to create this when, as a teacher, saw that a lot of parents were given a lot of runaround, if not a lot of BS by the administrators, and I wanted to give parents a voice. The purpose of the organization is that we empower, support, and the parents to become partners with the school where their children attend. We help parents with showing them where how to empower their children at home through promoting literacy, effective strategies for really dealing with bullying, where to also bridging the linguistic and cultural gap. I thought our website was fine until one day one of the parents that couldn't speak a word of English, did not have a phone, she came to me, she goes, Leila, are you familiar with Facebook? I said, no, but I can learn, I can teach it. She goes, oh, I was really hoping to connect with you because we all have Facebook. And I looked at her and everybody, sí, tenemos uno. So, okay. So we would like for our website, we want to be able to have the icon. So even though later on we added Facebook, it says Facebook, and they said we don't have Facebook. There. So they want to be able to see the icon for all the different social media.
Yeah, so it's a WordPress site. It's actually half static, half WordPress, so we want to bring everything into one place. I think the big need is for our designers to make it more visual, so it's less tied to specific languages. And I guess, like everyone else, general WordPress knowledge would be helpful, but we really need to be designers where our big need is.
So we're very grateful. Thank you so much for choosing us. We were the last people to we were not selected at first.
That's right. We had no volunteers signed up. We got to add
so
more.
when I found out at like 11 o'clock at night, I was so excited I couldn't sleep. And so they're having a fiesta in honor of this opportunity.
So next up is Communities United for Action, represented by Samantha Searles, and Bill Barnett is the tech lead.
Thank you. My name is Samantha Searles. I'm a community organizer for Communities United for Action. And we train and organize regular, everyday people, very grassroots, to have a voice in the decisions that impact their lives. So that's kind of out there, so I'm going to do a quick exercise with you all to kind of put it in perspective. So, bear with me. Raise your hand if you pay your sewer and water bill. Good to know. Well, raise your hand if you've noticed that it's increased in the past few years. Right? Oh, that's right. Actually, it's increased 70% in the last 10 years. And it's estimated the sewer portion of it is going to cost you $3,000 a year if you live in Hamilton County. So this is a problem, especially, think about it, if you are a senior citizen on a fixed income, say you only get $900 from Social Security once a month, then you definitely cannot afford a $3,000 sewer bill. So that's where Communities United for Action comes in. We step in, and the first step is deciding or figuring out who's the decision maker. So did you guys vote for a $3,000 bill? No, didn't think so. And I certainly didn't either. So obviously the officials at the Metropolitan Sewer District and our elected officials are in charge of setting those rates, right? And so we go back to the lady on a fixed income, and we do some community education, and we connect her with other old ladies on fixed incomes, and we get them in the same room with the, say like the Hamilton County Commissioners to have a discussion on their situation. And we get things done. We have closed a toxic landfill in Whitney Place, Spring Grove Village, that was polluting the air and making people sick. We have got banks to make loans in low-income neighborhoods. And we also have helped the city develop some standards on maintaining vacant buildings, which is my area of expertise. So if you were to join on our project, you would really help us connect with more people, because nowadays the website is the first thing you look at, and if you're on your computers now, you see our website needs some loving. I would compare it to like a 1985 hatchback that it runs, but it's not pretty. And what we're looking for is something more like a 2014 Prius. That's efficient, it's easy to use, it's easy to navigate, and of course it's pretty. So I'm so excited to be here. We too were not accepted at first, and luckily Bill was like, I got you, no problem. But I'm very happy to be here, and I can't wait to see what we can do with our beautiful, lovely little website.
I think I'm Bill. Samantha did a great job speaking about the work ahead, but essentially what they've got is they've got a Joomla 1.5 site that we are going to migrate to. Everyone say it with me. WordPress. All right. It's Dreamhost hosted. I've actually got the skeleton of the new site up there. I've been hacking on a little bit. So if you have experience on the LAMP stack, PHP, WordPress, especially any designers. We've got a theme picked out, a couple that we're looking at, hoping to make the site responsive. So if you have any of those skills, love to chat with you. And also, brought my daughter Polly up here. This is my motivation. I'd love to give a shout out to all the organizers. They do a kids camp here. It's been a very family-friendly event, pretty much since its founding, I think, but it's even more so now. So if you have kids, want to bring them, 1 o'clock, is it?
1 o'clock. 1 o'clock tomorrow. Yep.
The kids camp?
Yep.
They collected how much money last year, the kids, for this event?
With the cookies?
Yeah. Just
bracelets, like $65.
There was
Yeah.
something like $100, nearly $100 in between cookies and bracelets and things like that.
How cool is that?
Yeah. And they donated that back to GiveCamp for this year.
Yeah. Thank you.
Last up, I'm not sure, Rachel Barnett's the ombudsman representative. She called me at 10 till 6 that she was just boarding a plane in Chicago because their flight got delayed. So James Keating is the tech lead. We can fill in what I know, and between the two of us, maybe we can put something together.
Yeah, I can just read the slide too.
I know a little more of what's on the slide because ombudsman worked with us last year, the year before, I don't remember which. And we did some work on their website then. They are basically representing the common people, kind of similar to the Communities United for Action, actually, in the fact that when people have issue with government or long-term care facilities, things like that, they go to the ombudsman and they can represent them and that sort of thing. That is my understanding of their mission. So
That works. So show of hands, who works in COBOL? I just figured we talked about it in WordPress so many times that you can probably guess that this is a WordPress thing. We're going to be doing probably a WordPress plugin on the back end. They've got a Excel file with 900 plus entries of contacts for their for the resources that they use. We want to put it online, make it searchable. Also see if we can't design something to collect statistics about it so that they can know what's really key and what everybody going to their site did. They got Google Analytics, but it's not really as much as probably useful for them. So MySQL, PHP, Linux, would be awesome. Maybe some jQuery, who knows?
So that's all the nonprofits, and I will say this is the first year we've had this many WordPress sites for sure. Once again, there are O'Reilly ebook certificates out front if you need to learn how to use WordPress, PHP, or whatever.
Sorry, we don't have a slide for this. And kind of threw it, probably should check the slide deck on. So Bill was nice enough to do the advertisement for it, but tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the computer lab, we are doing a kids code camp, and we're going to be following the code.org website. So it's the one where they do the Angry Bird coding and that sort of stuff. And I'm going from 1 to 3. So there were signups on the website, but if you didn't sign up on the website, no big deal. We have room for your kids, so or whoever you want to bring in, niece, nephew, whatever, and we'll work with them for 2 hours, and then at 3:30 we are going to do a cookie decorating activity. So please do bring your.
Good age range for the kid coding.
The age range, if they're a very mature 8-year-old. We can go up from there, but usually it's about 10 and up. But I mean, if 8, we try to get grade school kids, so we say 8, but there is some like focused work. So if they can sit and focus on it, then please bring them. So appreciate it.
All right, a few logistical items before we do team selection. The team lead, just so you know, we start out doing stand-up meetings every 2 hours. We're going to have the first one at, we're going to say 9:30, so that way we figure out where everybody stands, and then 2 hours thereafter, and we adjust as things go based on how much they're needed, etc. So that'll be in the command center room 123. There will also be a job board in there. So if you come in and your team needs something, some special skill that you don't have, come in, you can write it on the board. We'll see if other people have it. We've in the past called people outside of GiveCamp and done Skype calls and stuff to get things done and other skills from outside. If you're leaving and you're a volunteer and you say, I have this skill, if someone really needs this, I'll come back and help. We've also have a call me back list sort of thing. So that way if you're leaving and you'll come back and help later, leave your phone number, etc. We're remind that it closed Saturday night at midnight. And then also, we're trying to accommodate special dietary needs, that sort of thing. But if you have any, Peggy will be out there when the food comes by, in the blue, oh, she's right there, in the blue shirt. See Peggy, she will make sure and find something that you can eat, so that way no one goes hungry. One other logistical item we didn't put in the slides that we just found out when we got here, the Wi-Fi password, which some of you probably figured out, there is no password this year. There is an MU guest account. You just have to go to a browser and accept their terms, and then you're into the internet. So, last, we have a team selection, is lesson learned from previous GiveCamp. The rule has always been what happens at GiveCamp stays at GiveCamp. You're not obligated to help your charity afterwards. That's kind of the rule of the volunteers, because we don't want this to become a full-time job for people. But we encourage people because it's more than likely to have the project succeed if they have a little bit of help, at least maybe for a year afterwards, etc. sort of thing. You find little things creep up. But it's completely up to the volunteers whether they do it or not. I reiterated again earlier, I talked about it, training. Some projects in the past have been wasted because they haven't been trained, the volunteers didn't help afterwards. So there's nothing more important than the training. Writing documentation isn't fun, but if you got time, make sure you get it done. Have it deployable early and often. You never know when a key person's going to have to leave, etc. So try to make sure you have a product that if you get in now, just have something that works. And that's always been our goal of GiveCamp. And I think we're 100% successful. That pretty much every time nonprofits have walked out here with something that works. I mean, it may not be 100% of the goal, but it's something that works. So there's going to be a lot of downtime. Sometimes there's some downtime. You're waiting for things to compile, etc. So if you have some other skill, you're looking for something to do, check around with the other teams. Everybody's doing WordPress this year apparently, so check around with the other teams and figure out what else needs done. One other schedule note for the nonprofits. We're going to have a social media expert, so to speak, in tomorrow afternoon. I think it was 1 to 3, Matt, or 2 to 4, do you remember? 2 to 4. 2 to 4, I think, is when they'll be here. So they'll be able to, originally we were going to do a class, we don't know how that'll work or not, so it might just be a one-on-one interaction, ask a question sort of thing, how to do that. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ryan for team selection.